All right, so water quality in Northwest Florida Water Management District springs. So we are monitoring water quality at our first magnitude springs and a number of the second magnitude springs. Some of the primary parameters that are being monitored include nitrogen, of course a nutrient, specific conductance, which is the ability of water to carry electrical current, and it's related to the amount of ions in the water, the amount of salinity in the water, dissolved oxygen and pH, as well as a number of other parameters. And we're monitoring these parameters to assess the health of Florida springs. For some parameters like coliforms, for example, we also monitor to ensure that springs are safe for human use, swimming. And we use this data for not only just to monitor health, but also for things like chemical characterizations, the spring sheds, where we can better understand the sources of water quality that are arriving at our springs and the changes in the water quality that we see. So we've recently completed an analysis of water quality trends at our first magnitude springs. And the interesting thing for our springs is that each spring seems to be unique with respect to the trends that we see. For example, these are all trends of nitrate at 3 of our first magnitude springs. So the St. Mark's River rise in the lower left-hand corner doesn't show an increasing trend in nitrate. The levels have been fairly constant. However, at Jackson Blue Spring and at Gaynor Spring, another first magnitude spring, we do see an increasing trend at nitrate over time. In fact, some work we did a couple of years ago at Jackson Blue Spring revealed that a 16-ounce glass of water from the spring has the same amount of nitrate as 6 hot dogs. So we have some work to do. Ocala Springs, however, interestingly shows a decreasing trend in nitrate just during recent years. And this is actually the result of a lot of the restoration efforts that have been going on. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a couple of slides. I won't reiterate here. I think Tom's gone through kind of the process that the Department of Environmental Protection has a primary responsibility for springs water quality, and they address this through the BMAP process. I will say that there are 2 BMAPs for first magnitude springs in our district, both for Ocala Spring and for Jackson Blue Spring, to address the nitrates that I talked about before. So all of these strategies are being implemented in the Ocala Spring and the Jackson Blue Spring area. Of course, they include public education, land acquisition and protection of spring sheds, wastewater treatment plant upgrades. The city of Tallahassee, for example, spent $225 million to upgrade their wastewater treatment plant and reduce nitrate levels to Ocala Spring. Septic tank conversions, and for Jackson Blue Spring, those agricultural cost share programs to help farmers reduce their nutrient loads. So, I really wanted to show this slide because this is some good news. This is an indication, early indication, at least, of success of these restoration efforts. So collectively, $366 million has been spent on restoration activities for Ocala Spring. And we are seeing the results of that with decreasing nitrate levels. So the TMDL of 0.35 milligrams per liter is nearly achieved. That's the line at the bottom. Our most recent measurement was 0.4 milligrams per liter. So we are almost there in terms of the water quality data. Now, of course, it is going to take more time for the biological system to recover. It's not going to happen overnight. But this is very encouraging. We're pretty excited about the success in this particular spring shed. And we do think that with the continued support of the legislature, the Department of Environmental Protection, local governments, residents, of course, the stakeholders, you all are helping make this happen. And I think that together we can, with time and with effort and with investment, restore some of our Florida springs.